Imagine being so good that the world's greatest shooter wants you on his team. Caitlyn Clark has become the face of women's basketball in the past few years and has the entire basketball world talking about her. But with all the hype has come a little controversy too, after Caitlyn said no to Steph Curry and Under Armour's $50 million offer. But there's actually something really shocking about this that nobody is realizing. But before we get any further in the video though, I just want to let you know about our Discord server where you can get exclusive access to NBA player interviews that we host where you ask the questions. You can get early and unreleased video access, cool giveaways, and just participate in engaging basketball discussions. So come and see us on Discord and don't miss out on all the action. All right, let's get back to the video. So as we all know, Caitlyn Clark recently owned the 2024 WNBA draft as the #1 pick for the Indiana Fever.
WNBA draft's #1 overall pick here to Indianapolis. Please welcome Caitlyn Clark.
But even though she was coming off one of the most impressive college performances of all time, her salary didn't quite match up to her superstar status. So this gave the window of opportunity for shoe brands to enter and try to get her signature. And I mean, why not? Clark is basically on a path to global dominance in the WNBA. She's on the verge of doing things that no female athlete has come close to doing, especially at her age, which is what makes this entire story so interesting. In fact, her rise to dominating the court is something close to what we've seen from Steph. Just like the baby-faced assassin, Caitlyn Clark is basically a shooting superstar. She's got this insane ability to make shots from anywhere across half court, and even Steph has come out to acknowledge her shooting, but also mention the fact that her all-around game is elite too. Caitlyn Clark was breaking records left and right. She smashed none other than Steph Curry's record for the most three-pointers in a single season in college, hitting a whopping 163 during the 2023-24 season, and she's the all-time leading scorer in NCAA Division I basketball history, men's or women's, with almost 4,000 points. It's no wonder why the Indiana Fever got her as the #1 pick in the draft. And she comes with a massive fan base already baked in. Add to that legendary coaches like Dawn Staley of NCAA championship winning South Carolina calling her one of the greatest players in women's basketball history. Clark's senior season was off the charts, averaging 28 points, almost 9 assists, and over 7 rebounds per game. And those three-pointers, well, she's got over 500 of them, shooting nearly 38% from beyond the arc. Everyone congratulated her after she broke the all-time scoring record. And by everyone, I also include Nike, who also joined in and went as far as putting up an ad and a mural. Okay, let's not move too fast. With incredible stats like these, it's no wonder she's turning heads and making big decisions like declining a massive multi-million-dollar deal from Under Armour. Yeah, big brand names like Under Armour were also fighting to sign her to a shoe deal. I mean, who wouldn't want a piece of her talent, right? Under Armour even brought Steph Curry himself as part of their pitch to convince Clark to sign. But in the end, Nike clinched the deal with what's being called an Olympic-sized offer. But how did it happen? Like, actually? Well, see, Steph has been the face of Under Armour for years, and he's their superstar athlete, no doubt. Last year, he even struck this mega deal with them, becoming president of the Curry brand, and even locked in an insane $75 million in Under Armour shares as part of the deal, set to cash in by 2023 and 2029, as long as he sticks around. But now, here's where it gets interesting. Various sources leaked that Steph was all in on getting Caitlyn Clark on board with Under Armour and the Curry brand. I mean, apparently he pulled out all the stops, even reportedly offering her a 4-year deal worth $16 million. If she's to play at least 13 years in the WNBA, which is very likely as the future face of the league, it would make the deal at least $50 million in total, which is a low estimate because once the contract renews, she's likely going to get even more money each renewal. Now, Steph wasn't about to let Caitlyn Clark slip through his fingers. Oh no. He met up with her to pitch Under Armour's vision, just like Michael Jordan's iconic deal with Nike back in the day. But guess what? Clark had other plans. Enter Nike, swooping in with a game-changing deal. And that's not all. She's even getting her own signature shoe line too. And rumor has it this deal is worth around $28 million for 8 years. And we all know she'll pass the $30 million mark or more after incentives on that deal. And notice, we didn't even mention other endorsement deals either. Remember, she was drafted as the #1 pick in the WNBA draft. Like, this could be a game changer for the entire league. And despite Steph's best efforts, Clark was like, "No, thanks, I'm good. I'm gonna go with Nike." It's a pretty bold move, but with her talent, who knows what's in store for her next. So after her incredible run with the Iowa Hawkeyes, she got some serious attention from Nike. They offered her this mega deal worth 8 figures, and that's kind of the payday she deserves, right? And now Clark wasn't gonna go do any deals with other brands. She is stuck with Nike. And we do know that Nike's brand awareness doesn't compare to any other brands out there, but we don't really know the exact nitty-gritty details of what could have been wrong with the Under Armour deal. One thing's for sure though, she's making waves and making big moves no matter which brand she ends up with. And guess what? Clark's first Nike signature shoe is already stirring up some controversy, especially among A'ja Wilson fans. See, Wilson's like one of the queens of the WNBA, and some fans are wondering why Clark got her own shoe before she did. It's a valid point, honestly, considering only a few WNBA stars have their own signature kicks right now. But hey, Clark has shown that she is not just an ordinary player, and it's pretty likely that she could dethrone Wilson in the WNBA. So going back to Steph though, some people felt that Clark should have signed with Under Armour. I mean, who wouldn't want some mentorship from the guy who's been dominating the NBA for ages, right? But here's the thing, Clark's already handling her fame like a pro and a businesswoman, honestly. They even coined a term for it, the Clark effect. Her impact on women's basketball is just undeniable, and she's yet to even make her debut. Like, did you know she boosted Iowa's economy by a whopping $82.5 million? Iowa's entire economy. And get this, the Las Vegas Aces are even moving their game to a bigger arena just to accommodate Clark's growing fan base during their game against Indiana. They're expecting sellout crowds, and Clark's national spotlight is only getting bigger. Now, her pro contract with the Fever might seem a bit low at just over $300,000 over 4 years, but with that Nike deal in the works, she's about to become a multi-million-dollar superstar. This is something completely unprecedented for a WNBA star, let alone someone who just finished college. Now, while the deal from Under Armour wasn't necessarily a bad one, Clark already had a history with Nike from college and on the women's EYBL circuit, which likely played a role in her wanting to choose Nike over Under Armour, so there's that. And now that she's a hot commodity with her talent and star power, she's like a magnet for sportswear companies. Everyone was trying to get a piece of the action, and it was always going to be a real bidding war. But Steph's group hasn't been all that bad in their negotiations though. Sacramento's De'Aaron Fox was the first NBA player to jump on board with the Steph brand, and South Carolina's Mylasia Fulwiley joined the brand too, and she even faced off against Clark in the national championship game. Now they were aiming for a dual brand deal with Caitlyn Clark, including endorsements with Under Armour and the Curry brand. But Clark's sticking with Nike, the brand she rocked during her college days at Iowa. With her deal, she's set to join the ranks of Sabrina Ionescu and Breanna Stewart in the WNBA with her own signature kicks too. There were also other competitors too, like Adidas and Puma, but they couldn't match the deal with Nike. Nike actually had their eye on Clark back in 2022 before she blew up in the sports world with her epic performance in the NCAA women's basketball tournament and her record-breaking season in 2023-24. Actually, her original deal with Nike was set to expire in 2024, so she was basically a free agent. But Nike wasn't about to let her slip away. So they came in strong with an average salary of $3 million per year, topping it off with a $3.5 million annual offer. And they're betting big on Clark's potential, not just in women's sports, but on the global stage too. They're already eyeing her for the Olympics in 2028 and 2032. I mean, check out the company she's in. Sabrina Ionescu, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Paul George, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Ja Morant, and Devin Booker are all Nike athletes that have become powerful icons. And Caitlyn Clark, being a female, can completely rewrite this wave. These are like the superstars of the basketball world, and now she's right there with them. And we can't wait to see Caitlyn Clark's signature kicks hit the shelves too. With her jersey sales already through the roof, you know her shoes are going to fly off the shelves. I mean, it's basically going to be a business slam dunk for Nike. That's for sure. For Steph, getting Clark on the team would have been a huge win for him and his brand, but truth be told, Caitlyn Clark wanted to make her own legacy. I mean, we know she appreciates Steph and what he's done for basketball, but she doesn't want the shadow of Steph over her as she tries to carve out her own legacy. Similar to how Michael Jordan started the train of NBA superstars joining the Nike family, Caitlyn Clark wants to be the Michael Jordan of WNBA superstars by becoming the first female basketball player right out of college to get a deal. Honestly, this was just one powerful move by Clark as she gets ready to rewrite the record books in the WNBA.